Hello and welcome to our program initiated and supported by Institute for Development and Diplomacy at AD University. I'm Anastasia Lavrina, and today we will speak about one of the most crucial topics in global policy. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said that Finland and Sweden have officially applied to join the world's biggest military alliance, NATO. President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, has confirmed Turkey's opposition to NATO membership for Finland and Sweden. If this is the final word, and what can be the next step?
Finland and Sweden make NATO stronger. They meet every NATO requirement, and then some.
We experienced the same thing with Greece. We know that both Finland and Sweden will play the same trick on us. I'm sorry, but why should we make such a mistake?
Our special guest today is Hasan Unal, Professor of Political Science and International Relations of Turkey's Maltepe University. Mr. Unal, hello and welcome to our program.
Hello, and congratulations on your first program, and greetings to ADA University and to Azerbaijan.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We are very glad to host you. And my first question, what's your assessment of President Erdogan's opposition to Sweden and Finland to join NATO?
Basically, what it is now, we have, as you said, the world's largest military alliance. And the alliance is out to protect the territorial integrity of the member states. Good. It all sounds well. But certain members of the alliance support a deadly terrorist organization which is aiming directly at the territorial integrity of a fellow member, that is Turkey. And Turkey is not a fifth-grade NATO member. It's been a proven reliable member of NATO. It has the second biggest army within NATO. It has its own defense capabilities. It has its own defense products, which are quite, capable of doing miracles on the battlefield. And also it has the second largest army with enormous firepower and the experience of battle experience, a battle-hardened army. This is what we are talking about. And then you have other NATO members who are supporting a terrorist organization against Turkey. How come?
Apart from PKK organization and Turkey's position in these particular issues, there are some other preconditions announced by Turkey in this key process if Finland and Sweden can become a NATO member.
Well, that's a very good question. Where does the haggling start and where might it end? Would Turkey get all it wants, or would Turkey get some of what it wants? Some others would be sort of agreed in, not necessarily in written documents, but sort of there would be verbal agreements about those things. I can't tell, but it seems as if we are moving towards a deadlock. In a sense, the veto right has been exercised. Now, as you said, there is a list of demands Turkey seems to have made. Some of the demands are not necessarily related to Finland and or Sweden, but related directly to the United States. Basically, what Turkey says in general terms, well, if we are all allies within the largest military alliance in the world, and if I am a reliable ally, well, regardless of whether you are reliable, whether you are a strong ally, whether you have the second biggest army, all that, regardless of all that, even if the smallest of the small ally The embargo by one ally against the other, either in the form of economic embargo or in the form of weapons or spare parts or whatever, is against both the textual treaty as well as the spirit of the NATO alliance. You can't do that. Allies should be cooperating and allies should be supporting each other in every respect, rather than basically curtail their ability to develop economically and militarily. So basically, when Turkey says this in general terms, it is a direct reference to the Kaatsa embargo that the United States is applying to Turkey. And it's interesting that Turkey bought S-400s from Russia. So did India. India is not basically undergoing a Kaatsa package of embargo by the United States, but Turkey has been. So what sort of an alliance is this? The second thing is, we may not need anything terribly important from Sweden or Finland. When Turkey basically ordered an excursion into northern Syria to basically root out the PKK-PYD there, last time in late 2019, these representatives of these countries, Finland, Sweden, all came out and they declared, arms embargo on Turkey. So we might not need perhaps this spare part or that little bit from Sweden or Finland, but the attitude is important here. Turkey is conducting a military operation against a deadly terrorist organization, and these people come out and then they make the oddest statements against their fellow member. This can't go on. This is what it is,
Mr. Unal, so concluding particularly this part of our conversation, do you think that Turkey is ready to negotiate with Sweden and Finland or with the United States of America if there are any kind of intentions to start such kind of negotiation with Turkey?
Well, my hunches tell me that it is going to lead to some sort of a deadlock first, and then it'll be open to negotiations. One part of the negotiations will cover Sweden and Finland, while the other part of the negotiations is going to be conducted with the United States in particular. Now, with Sweden and Finland, they can come up with certain things, like they would basically give written guarantees to Turkey that they are not going to support PYD and all that. Whether they can do it or not is also questionable, because they have so much pro-PKK and pro-YPG, PYD constituency within Sweden in particular. We'll wait and see. So it's going to be interesting. But I would say that Turkey should take it to the NATO Council where the decisions are made. And NATO Council in general should adopt a resolution by which it should declare PKK, PYD, YPG, and all its branches, political, economic, whatever, as terrorist structures, organizations, and their activities across the NATO countries should be banned. And that would be the way to go. But on the other hand, the negotiations with the United States should include the lifting of the arms embargo on Turkey, and also on certain critical things like the Cyprus question. Things of this sort will have to be, how shall I say, revised, will have to be basically looked into between Turkey and the United States in a new spirit, in order to revitalize the relations. Otherwise, my hunches tell me that this is going to be just the prelude to what we are going to be seeing in future. So these issues will be popping up over and over again between Turkey and its Western NATO partners.
So if there is no consensus reached between Turkey, Finland, Sweden, or Turkey and the United States of America, it seems that membership request of Finland and Sweden in NATO alliance is impossible. But all the countries are keen to see these two countries inside NATO. So is there any chance for these two countries to become a member of NATO without acceptance from Turkey? And if it happens by any chance, what will be the reaction of Turkey?
No, it can't happen because it requires consensus. You have the veto right, okay? A country like Greece, for instance, vetoed Macedonia's membership for nearly 10 years. Even after Macedonia basically made all the preparations for final accession to NATO, and Greece basically vetoed the invitation letter to be sent to Republic of Macedonia by the Secretary General. They said no. And do you know what their opposition to that was? They said this Republic of Macedonia would have to change its name. One of the most bizarre political and diplomatic dispute in world history. And in the end, they got much of what they wanted. In the end, the membership was shelved for about nearly 10 years. In the end, Macedonia had to agree to change its name to Northern Macedonia in order to appease the Greeks. Okay? Well, if they can get with this, with impunity, I suppose Turkey would do much better.
So, when there is a conversation that talks about the future of Sweden, Finland, and NATO alliance, the experts are considering it as a possibility to increase the level of European security. Do you think that it really may bring positive outcomes in this particular issue?
Well, to say the least, that is questionable. For instance, why do Finland and Sweden want to join NATO at a time when the Western media and the Western governments keep telling us that Russia is basically losing the war in Ukraine? Supposedly, the Russian army is crap. It is certainly not as good as it was believed to be, and they are performing very badly. If that's the case, why are you afraid of Russia then? It was on that ground that Finland became a neutral country in 1944, respected its neutrality, and the Paris Peace Treaty of 1947 was basically signed up by the Soviet Union and Finland on that basis. Now, Finland, when the Soviet Union crumbled in late 1991, Finland basically said that it is no longer under the obligation of those terms that was imposed upon Finland by the Paris Peace Treaty. Well, whether it is legal or not is disputable. But what is more important is I can't see any Russian threat to Finland. And Russia basically doesn't have any military installations near the Finnish border, nor do I see any Russian threat directed at Sweden. What is this hurry for? So we have learned all about it.
Just one more question I have to you. You already started to speak about security issues. And I should ask you also about the cooperation between our countries, between Turkey and Azerbaijan. Almost in a month, we will celebrate a year after signing of Shusha Declaration in liberated Shusha city. And there are much talks going about importance of bilateral cooperation about our brotherly countries, how it affects the security concern in our region. I would like to listen to your opinion on this matter as well.
Well, after the historic victory of Azerbaijan, basically much of the security problems in the region has been dealt with. Now, Turkey's cooperation with Azerbaijan has always been strong, and it has now assumed a new dimension in which the two countries are promoting peace and reconciliation across the region. And it seems to me that Armenia doesn't have much choice other than to come along this way and basically become part of this cooperation and cooperation in trade, economy, and what have you, transportation, and all that. And I would say that the Turkish-Azerbaijani cooperation in the region would not only contribute to peace with Armenia, but it would also lead to reconciliation between Turkey and Armenia on the one hand, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. Now, with Turkey standing strongly behind Azerbaijan, Azerbaijan has turned itself into a superpower in the general equilibrium of power in Southern Caucasus. And then the three big countries that surround the Southern Caucasus, Turkey, Russia, and Iran, also realize the new state of affairs, and they basically have no other way other than act on the basis of the new state of affairs. And this basically tells me that, you know, there is a new beginning with a lot of, basically, there is everything we can be hopeful for.
Mr. Unal, thank you so much for finding the time and joining our program today. It was a pleasure to talk to you. We hope to see you very soon. Thank you.
That was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.